So as I was saying to you, Brian, before I came on, I've been on a journey, and I think Tommy Robinson has been on a journey ahead of many of us. And he's been made the Voldemort of British politics. For some reason, as you rightly point out, the media can grab someone and they can mold him into this person they wish him to be. Look, he's no saint, as far as I can see. He comes from Luton, he's working class, he's got tattoos, but he's a straight-talking, straight-shooter, from what my experience of him is. And they've turned him into the Voldemort of politics. He is the bad boy of everything. And, I think if he's been on a journey, it's not for me to opine on his journey, but I think the journey he's been on is himself trying to understand how the hell did this country go from what I was born into to where it is now? How the hell did it get here? We all ask ourselves that question. And getting to the answer of that question, by the way, I think is a critically important step, because if you can't answer the question, it manifests itself in anger, and you want to hit out at whatever it is that's caused this. Yeah. But if you can get to the root causes of the problem, and this is where politicians need to really exercise their focus, get to the root causes of these problems, be brave in revealing what the root causes of these problems are. How did the United Kingdom become as it is now, precisely, and therefore what are the solutions? And that is our job. There were what? Well over 500,000 people who came to that march. Some say 1 million. I know many people tried to come to the rally and couldn't make it and had to go back on train. There were 2.5 million people watching. Now let's say there were 3-4 million people interested in what was happening on the 13th of September. If the politicians' only response to that is, these are a bunch of lunatics who are far right, troublemakers, nationalists, and so on, if that's their reaction, then those people will feel vilified. They'll feel that the political class who should represent them have turned their backs on them. There'll be no route for those people to give effect to the changes they wish to see in the country, democratically and peaceably.
Peter Thiel took $500,000 and turned it into $1 billion using the exact same techniques we're using inside the investment club. He met a CEO, his name was Zuckerberg. He pitched him the deal and he said, okay, I'll give you $500,000. Mark went public and sold the shares to people like you. Well, what happened to Peter? Well, he exited and got a 2,300x return. The wealthy invest in early stage companies, folks. The public markets are for suckers. It's a rigged game. By the way, this happens in crypto as well. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is Solana. Does anybody know this chain? They sold pre-sale tokens for 4 cents. And you can see the date on there, April 5th, 2018. Look at Solana today, folks. That thing's up over 1,000x. The media and Wall Street and all these hype people get you to buy the top. Meanwhile, they put their clients in at the bottom and they use you for liquidity to make their clients rich. You can play this same game. You just have to have the financial education and the deal flow. That's it.
And therefore it falls to politicians, and I think it's critical and important, and that's why I spoke at the rally. It falls to politicians to engage, find out what the issues are that's troubling these people, get to the root causes of these problems, reveal those problems, and through revealing them, find the solutions, propose the solutions, and put a proverbial arm of friendship round the people and say, we get it. We are going to sort this out for you. But even after that march, Starmer came out and said, well, this is a bunch of far-right people who've gathered in London and they're hijacking the flag and we've got to reclaim the flag. He doesn't get it. And one thing I wanted to say in my speech on that day, which I didn't say, was that now Parliament, in the 1980s, when I first came to London, Parliament had no protection around it. You could literally see all the parliamentary buildings from the road. And then we had the IRA bombs and they put barricades up, and then we started bombing Iraq and doing all sorts of stuff abroad. And so we needed more protections around Parliament. And I was horrified to go there the other day. I don't know if you've been there recently, but now they've got a 9-foot tall metal fence all the way down the front of Parliament. Really? That is the best optical revelation of how Parliament has now turned its back on the people. Parliament doesn't represent its people. It's sitting separately from its people. And because it sits separately from its people, it feels the need of this massive metal fence. It has literally put a fence in the way of its own obligations. And we must, as politicians, now understand what the hell is going on in this country. And we've got to, and I think this country is facing an existential threat. I think if we don't get a grip of the problems and start resolving them quickly, I think the United Kingdom, Western Europe, Western civilization, I think will cease to exist in the way that you and I remember it through most of our lives.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.